To begin with, let's talk about Melody Shari. From the very first season of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, people have looked at Melody as the face of the show. She carries herself with confidence, she speaks her mind without fear, and she never hesitates to call people out when they cross the line, especially Martell Holt. Everyone already knew their marriage was rocky, filled with constant ups and downs, but lately the drama seems to grow bigger every single day. Just when you think you've heard the worst, something else shocking happens. Recently, Melody said something that caught everyone's attention. She declared, "I'm at war. We're in a fight, and only one of us can win." When a woman starts using words like war, battlefield, and victory, you know this isn't just about throwing shade or making slick comments. That's her way of saying she's fighting for her life, her peace of mind, and her future. And of course, fans jumped into the comments to cheer her on. They filled her timeline with messages like, "Yes, Melody, stand strong. We've got your back." People were excited because Melody wasn't just venting, she was challenging Martell. She was basically saying, if you're bold enough, step across this line. But here's the thing, Martell Holt isn't the type of man to stay quiet. He has been out here telling his side of the story every chance he gets. Through interviews, podcasts, and endless social media posts, he keeps trying to paint himself as the misunderstood one, the real victim. Martell wants people to see him as a devoted father who just wants to raise his kids and be respected. But every time he talks, it backfires. Fans flood his comments with jokes, memes, and harsh words. They tell him things like, "Martell, stop deflecting," or "You're always blaming Melody for everything." And honestly, it's not hard to see why people feel that way. While Martell talks like he's innocent, the court papers, legal filings, and receipts tell a completely different story. And trust me, the deeper you go into the details, the messier everything gets. Now, we can't talk about this drama without bringing up Marsau and Latisha Scott. Out of everyone on the cast, these two have been knee-deep in Melody and Martell's business the most, and it's obvious. People still remember those moments on the show when Marsau would constantly interrupt Latisha. Anytime she tried to speak her truth, Marsau would talk over her, cut her off, or even yell at her. Fans didn't like it one bit. On Twitter and Instagram, people kept asking, why does Marsau talk to her like that? Why doesn't Latisha stand up for herself? Well, it seems like Latisha is finally speaking up. When all of this new drama began, threats being thrown around, fights breaking out, powwow friend groups forming, knives being mentioned, and even rumors of death threats, Latisha was the only cast member who publicly said something. And when she spoke, it made the table shake. She posted online, "You don't always have to tell your side of the story. Time will." And she made sure to emphasize the words "time will." For those who know Latisha, that was surprising. She usually avoids being the first to strike. She prefers to play it safe, let other people talk, and sit back in the shadows. But this time, she came out swinging without actually saying much. That post was her way of telling the world, "I didn't need to argue because eventually the truth will reveal itself." And fans ate it up. They started sharing her words, reposting them, and quoting them with captions like, "Latisha is right. She's known the truth all along." For once, she wasn't in Marsau's shadow. She stood on her own and people noticed. But not everybody was impressed. Some fans clapped back at her with comments like, "Girl, stop acting holy. You're just as messy as the rest," or, "Don't forget, you were stirring the pot too." So the reactions were split. Still, one thing was clear, Latisha got people talking. And Marsau? He loved it. For once, his wife was in the spotlight and he wasn't the one getting dragged. Now let's be real. For years, people have been accusing Marsau and Latisha of playing a part in Melody and Martell's downfall. Fans say the Scotts were always lurking in the middle, whispering behind backs, and tossing shade when the cameras were rolling. But Melody herself has admitted that her marriage was shaky long before Marsau and Latisha's commentary. That's where things get tricky. Because Marsau now acts like, "See, y'all blamed us, but the truth was always there." And he loves being able to say that. Meanwhile, fans are sitting back watching all this unfold like it's their favorite soap opera. But remember that war Melody talked about? That war isn't just against Martell, it's also about how the Scotts fit into the picture. Melody feels like Latisha has been waiting for this exact moment to say, "I told you so." And that makes the fight feel never-ending. On one side, Melody is fighting for her peace, her reputation, and her family. On the other, Latisha is claiming she's been right from the start. Marsau is grinning in the background, enjoying every moment of not being blamed, while Martell digs his own hole with every post and interview. And social media? They can't get enough. Some fans proudly declare, "Team Melody forever. She deserves better." Others argue, "No, Latisha finally stood up for herself. Let her have her moment." And then you have the messy ones who don't pick sides at all. They just want the drama, writing comments like, "Keep the tea coming. This show is why we live." The split is real. Everyone has an opinion and nobody is backing down. That's why the drama has lasted this long and will probably continue for seasons to come. Now, if you look closely at these relationships, you'll notice a pattern. Melody and Martell's marriage was unstable from the very beginning. Yes, they had good moments, but the cheating scandals, the lies, and the public arguments were too much. And who was standing nearby to see it all? Marsau and Latisha. Sometimes they added their own commentary, sometimes they got dragged in even when they didn't want to, but either way they were part of the storm. So when Melody says she's at war, it's bigger than Martell. It's a battle against everything and everyone who tried to shape her story. Latisha's time will post was her way of saying, "Don't blame me." The truth speaks for itself. But let's be honest, this isn't just about who's right or wrong. This is about pride. Melody doesn't want Marsau or Latisha sitting back smugly, acting like they knew it all along. Marsau doesn't want to admit that he went too far with the way he treated Latisha on camera. And Martell more than anyone doesn't want to face the truth that his actions were the main reason everything crumbled. So now we've got four adults fighting over pride, each one trying to prove they're the winner. That's why Melody called it a war. She knows it's bigger than Martell. It's about proving to everyone, including the Scotts, that she won't be played with. And the fans? They're all in. One person wrote, "This show is better than any scripted drama." Another said, "Forget the TV episodes, I just want to follow the mess on Instagram." People are literally forming teams like it's a sport. Team Melody, Team Latisha, Team Martell, and even Team Marsau. This is why you need to keep watching. The way these four move right now is setting the stage for the rest of the season and maybe even the next few years. Melody's war speech wasn't just words. It was a declaration. She's saying she will not back down, she won't be silenced, and she won't let anyone twist her story. Martell's response shows the opposite. He still refuses to take responsibility. He keeps pointing fingers at everyone but himself. And that's why fans keep mocking him. Latisha's time will post was short but clever. It gave her the last word without dragging herself into long arguments. And Marsau? He's enjoying the show from the sidelines, letting his wife shine while he quietly celebrates not being the main target. But let's be real, this war isn't close to being finished. If anything, it's only just beginning. Melody is gearing up for the biggest fight of her life. Martell is still running his mouth. Latisha is posting cryptic messages. And Marsau is grinning like a cat that got into the cream. You already know the reunion is going to be explosive. People are already saying they can't wait to see Melody and Latisha face off on that couch while Carlos King stirs the pot and Martell tries to defend himself. That episode is going to break the internet. And here's the question everyone wants answered: who's going to win? Will Melody come out stronger than ever, proving that she can't be broken? Will Martell somehow flip the story in his favor? Will Latisha finally get her moment to shine after years of being told to sit down and be quiet? Or will Marsau sit back, sip his drink, and claim he was right all along? No matter how it ends, one thing is certain: the fight between Melody Shari, Martell Holt, Latisha Scott, and Marsau Scott is far from over. And if you thought things were messy now, just wait. The real battle hasn't even begun.